I've never been the type to look for signs from above or believe in fate. I believe in boundary lines, deed records, and a signature that holds up in court. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm built. So when I finally scraped together enough to buy a 3.5-acre slice of earth, hugging the Wasatch Mountains tucked away from the HOA circus, you better believe I double-checked everything. No HOA, not now, not ever. That's what the paperwork said. 2 independent attorneys' county records, plat maps, everything in black and white. This land was mine, pure and free, no strings, no nosy committees with their noses in my business. And after years in the grind as a land surveyor, and before that, a combat engineer, you could say, I was obsessive about getting every detail right, every wall, every beam, every foot of rebar. I'd drawn it out in my head 1,000 times. Didn't want some cookie-cutter McMansion either. Give me sturdy timber, a little sweat, and a workshop where I could get lost making something real with my hands. Most of all, I wanted quiet, the kind that hangs heavy above the tree-lined sunrise, pouring gold through pine needles, not a soul in sight. First day on the site, machines rolling. Frankie, my project manager, always humming some half-remembered tune calling out survey points. The smell in the air, diesel, cedar, and the closest thing I'd felt to hope in a long time. Felt like nothing could shake me. That was day 1. Day 2, whole different story. I was elbow deep in the dirt, lining out footings when I heard the sharp click of high heels on gravel, turning to see this woman striding up like she was late for a board meeting. Blonde bob, HOA vest, squeezing her ego even tighter, clutching a clipboard like it was a police badge. "Excuse me," she says, tone already 3 notches above condescending. "You can't continue this work. You're violating Silver Trail Estates development bylaws." For a second, I thought she was lost. I said, as friendly as I could manage, "Ma'am, you've got the wrong address. This isn't part of any HOA." She gives me that look, you know, the one like I just insulted her ancestors. "Actually, it is. We have extended jurisdiction since 2012. You fall under our landscape conservation overlay." I almost laughed. I showed her my stack of official documents, title plat maps, county certificates. She barely glanced at them, lips pursed like she smelled something bad. "That doesn't change the impact on community sightlines," she said, knuckles white on the clipboard. "This area needs HOA commission approval for structural development." I raised an eyebrow, told her, "This is private property, not Silver Trail. No HOA." She just stared and muttered, "We'll see about that," before walking off, not defeated, just planning her next move. You could feel it in the air. Frankie sidled up, low whistle. "You know her?" "Nope. Think she'll be a problem." Didn't answer. But you get that feeling sometimes deep in your gut, like thunder rumbling way out there, and you know a storm's coming. 2 days after Karen, let's just call her Karen, made her appearance, I'm working the rebar grid when red and blue lights strobe through the trees. Patrol car, slow and steady, pulls right onto my drive. 2 deputies step out, relaxed but ready. "You, Cameron Holt." "Last I checked," I said, wiping sweat. "What's the trouble?" "Report of unauthorized construction, possible encroachment permits." I was expecting this. I handed over my thick file stamp, signed everything by the book. They leafed through it, tried to look unimpressed, but even the tough one grunted, "Looks solid." HOA president called it in. The other said, "Claimed you're on conservation land." I just shrugged. "You want the aerial overlays too?" "Nah," they said, closing the folder. "Sorry for the hassle." And they left, polite but wary. But I didn't feel relief. I felt like a deer in someone's crosshairs. That night, I checked my cameras. Sure enough, around 2 in the morning, a white SUV crawled along my property, paused by my shed, then backed out. No damage, just checking, watching. Next morning, someone had dumped a bag of garbage diapers. Old fish, the works, right across my drive. The stink would peel paint. Spent the morning cleaning up, jaw clenched, then went and bought more cameras. But that was only the start. By the weekend, the retirees rolled in lawn chairs and protest signs. "Stop the destruction, save our hillside," sipping lemonade, filming me like I was some kind of villain. One lady with a giant sun hat tells me I can't police public land. "You're standing on my driveway," I said. "We'll see," she shot back, writing in her clipboard. What is it with these people and clipboards? Then things got ugly. My backhoe tires slashed. No cameras that far back. My subcontractor bailed. A delivery driver refused to come onto my lot. "Your name's all over the neighborhood message board," he said, not meeting my eyes. "They say this is a contested site. I can't risk it. Slander plain as day, but try proving it." That evening, as I sat on my tailgate, cold beer in hand, trying to unknot my shoulders, I saw her again, Karen at the crest just watching. White SUV like a vulture. No wave, no sign of leaving. That's when it clicked. This wasn't about rules or grass height. This was a setup, and I was in their way. My attorney Grace helped me dig through old subdivision maps, tracking every plat and overlay. She found something weird. The extended jurisdiction Karen quoted. That overlay map was amended only a few months back. After I bought the land. Worse, they were referencing a jurisdictional map from 1986 that didn't exist in any official county record. That's when my stomach dropped. This was fraud. I pulled every public record I could, even called a buddy at the assessor's office. Turned out Silver Trail's HOA had just been taken over 60% of voting shares snapped up by some shadowy LLC called Paragon Vision Partners. Their listed address a P.O. Box in Nevada. Their business luxury eco resorts. And in their planning documents, right where my land sat, was a planned scenic access route. The driveway to their dreams, bulldozing my future. The next day, construction debris dumped at my edge drywall insulation needles. Cameras caught Karen in a scarf and sunglasses, snapping a selfie with the mess, then posting online, "Illegal dumping by reckless developer." Grace nearly spit out her coffee. "She's staging her own crimes and blaming you. That's straight-up defamation." The HOA newsletter ran an editorial, "When Greed Ruins the View." They used my name, my face drone shots of my machinery, called it destructive heavy equipment. After that, things escalated. Nails scattered across my drive, peanut butter jammed in my Bobcat's intake spray paint on my cameras. Then came the real twist. A subcontractor buddy, Hugo, called. "Heads up, Cam," he whispered. "Someone offered me cash to fake a soil instability report, try to get your build condemned." I told them where to stick it, but they're serious. My house, my dream, was under attack from every angle. The final straw. After a nasty windstorm, I came down expecting loose tarps, found the foundation ruined. A 10-foot rebar section sawed clean through, corrosive chemical poured in the footings, concrete warped and cracked like a spider web. Pure sabotage. I had to tear it out, start over, almost $500,000 lost. Then someone impersonated me, canceling my deliveries, rerouting my shipments. I stepped outside just in time to see Karen herself orchestrating an excavator across my upper lot. 2 flunkies in orange vests hammering at my steel gate. "This land is under provisional review," she said, fake county orders in hand. I ripped them up. She just smiled. "You want a war, Mr. Holt?" "I've got more friends than you think." Cops showed up, shrugged. "Trespass is slow to prosecute." Karen, smug as ever, rolled by. "Might as well start demolition now." That night I made up my mind. No more defense. This was war. I called Grace. I called Jack Alvarez. Old army buddy turned private investigator, eats municipal fraud for breakfast. We dug into Paragon's finances, found a money trail that led to Karen herself. Turns out she wasn't just the face of this campaign, she was getting paid as their community integration liaison. Jack uncovered audio of Karen bribing a county surveyor to falsify maps. Grace found other landowners scammed the same way, an elderly widow, a struggling farmer, both steamrolled by expanded jurisdiction. We met in a highway diner, shared stories, made a planned class action, full legal and public press. The formal complaint went in fraud, conspiracy, defamation, trespass. Grace added a civil suit, $1.2 million in damages. Leaked Karen's role in Paragon to the press. The story blew up, at least locally. Suddenly, Karen was quiet until I woke up to a dead coyote hanging on my trailer door. "Welcome to the wild" sprayed behind it. Jack said, "That's not a warning, that's panic. You hit a nerve." Courtroom day, cold, sterile, like hope had to check its coat at the door. Grace by my side, stack of evidence a mile high. Karen strutted in that same clipboard under her arm, not a hint of shame. Judge Kilpatrick presiding. Turns out he went to high school with Karen. "Miss Lawson," he said, "do you recall Edison High, 1983? Her lips went white. "You bullied me then. Today it's financial abuse." Grace laid out the evidence, forged overlays, chemical sabotage audio of Karen giving orders, even the crooked surveyor confessing on the stand. The jury practically leaned forward spellbound. When it was over, the gavel came down hard. Judge found them guilty. Karen Silvertrail, HOA, Paragon, Vision Partners, all of them. Conspiracy, property, interference, attempted annexation. My land declared forever independent. HOA dissolved. Paragon exposed. Karen sentenced to 5 years, barred from community leadership for a decade. I didn't gloat. I just breathed real air, first time in months. No more protests, no more SUVs on the ridge, just wind in the pines and the low hum of a generator as I rebuilt. Contractors came back, neighbors shook my hand. My house rose stubborn and proud, steel bones under fresh stone. The day I moved in, snow fell quiet over the mountains. I stood on my porch, coffee in hand, no clipboard in sight, and watched as the sun burned gold through the mist. My land, my rules, no compromise. A week later, my new neighbor Joe, retired Air Force, came up with a six-pack and a grin. Hell of a stand you took. Good to see someone finally put that woman in her place. We toasted, watching the world turn pink with dusk. Funny, the hill they tried to use to bury me, I built my life on it instead. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. If you've ever tangled with an HOA or got caught up in neighborhood politics, drop your story below. Where do you stand on property rights and community lines? Let's hear your take.